Shalom is Brother Yashimazakar from the Israelite Report, IsraeliteReport.com. Upon my watch, all praises are definitely due to Yahawashi, Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to all the brothers spread across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth and sincerity, those that truly believe and want to get the hell up out of here. I'm going to bring this out right quick because I'm going to start the show over in a minute. But I just wanted to touch on this because my personal thought, and this is just a personal opinion, I feel like this will be the year of the false flags going into 2027. I feel like the major false flags will take place at the end of the year. That's my thought. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm just looking at this situation and knowing what 2027 means to the elites of Esau. From CBS News, it says FBI launches a terrorism investigation as authorities say ISIS-inspired attack outside of NYC Mayor Mamdani's residence. So recently there was a situation where there was this attempted terrorist attack, attempted bombing somewhere near the mayor of New York City, his residence. And they're saying it was ISIS related or ISIS inspired. And we know this devil, he's full of shit. You can smell a false flag coming. And what they do with these situations, they'll have these little mini false flags like this one right here. This is like a mini false flag. And this is called sowing the seeds to prep your mind for the big false flag that's going to come. And I've been tracking this devil, and it's frustrating. There's certain things I cannot say out loud. I kind of look at shit and I go, I know what they're getting ready to do. And you brothers, you know what they're going to do, and you know it through the spirit, right? So I'm just, But for those who are new to this type of information, there's quite a few people. I check my Apple and Spotify, and I see there's new people subscribing. This is a mini false flag for a major false flag that's to come. And I believe, me personally, towards the end of the year, especially around the midterms. All right. It says a planned attack involving homemade explosive devices during an anti-Islam demonstration outside New York City. New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani, his residence over the weekend was inspired by the terrorist group ISIS. Authorities said Monday one of the devices was ignited but didn't explode. Some people online are saying that they're Mossad because nobody believes this devil anymore. This is where this devil is. He's desperate. He's a caged, he's a animal backed into a corner. It says here in the quote, these were ISIS-inspired actions. Salakia. How do they know this was ISIS-inspired? This is what this devil does. He puts this stuff out there in front of you. I can't wait to get the fuck out of this damn place, man. He just threw that shit out there. These were ISIS-inspired actions. Manhattan U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton, this is what he told reporters during a news conference. It says here in the article from CBS News, two men from Pennsylvania, 18-year-old Amir Balat and 19-year-old Ibrahim Kayumi, are now facing federal charges after being arrested outside Gracie Mansion, the mayor's home, on Saturday. Says Balat allegedly told investigators that he wanted to carry out an attack that was bigger than the bombing at the Boston Marathon in 2013 that killed 3 people. New York City Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch said. This shit is so stupid, man. This is annoying at this point. Esau is just, he can't even get his shit together. I know this devil has to be at the end because it's like he can't even get his lies straight. He can't even make the shit sound believable. ISIS inspired. 2 teenagers that were ISIS inspired. They had to go and dig ISIS back up. Says this was not random. This is a quote from Tisch, Jessica Tisch, the New York City Police Commissioner. This was not random violence, Tisch told reporters. This was a planned attack motivated by extremist ideology and inspired by a violent foreign terrorist organization. End quote. So they're pushing this narrative that ISIS is here because of what's going on with Iran, and that we better beware. And it's funny because I already recorded what I'm going to upload about these false flags and the Trump administration pretty much putting it out there. There are sleeper cells here in America ready to attack the homeland from Iran. Let me tell you something, man. I know I'm kind of ranting a little bit. I hope y'all forgive me. I'm your brother. I have my moments. But I hope you are paying attention. I hope you paying attention, man. I hope you are actually watching this shit. And that you prepared your mind and your spirit for what's to come. Because as I've been saying this shit for so long now, there's going to come a time you won't hear from me. When this big, major false flag, when they get done, when they're done with these little mini false flags and they push the big one, the new 9/11, you won't be hearing from me or brothers like me. They're going to lump us in and call us all terrorists. I'm telling you, it's coming. It says both suspects, this back to the article from CBS News, both suspects admitted that their actions on Saturday were because of ISIS. 2 teenagers that know jack shit about ISIS. ISIS was during the Obama administration. Okay? These are 2 teenagers that don't know a goddamn thing about ISIS. It says, but both suspects admitted that their actions on Saturday were because of ISIS. Tisch said, I don't know how to say this nigga's name. Kayumi allegedly told investigators that he watched ISIS propaganda on his phone and was partly inspired by the group. Tish said. According to the police commissioner, Balat pledged his allegiance to ISIS in writing while he was in custody. This is some dumb shit. I want to jump down right here. It says attempted provision of material support and resources to a designated foreign terrorist organization, use of a weapon of mass destruction. We've heard that before. Esau is so fucking tacky. He's got to roll out the old tricks that he used to play. And these people are so stupid, they still fall for the dumb shit. ISIS is a problem. No, Mossad is a problem in America. The U.S. government is a problem in America. Israel, Netanyahu is a problem in America because those are your real terrorists. Attempted provision of material support and resources to a designated foreign terrorist organization, use of a weapon of mass destruction, transportation and explosive materials, interstate transportation and receipt of explosives, unlawful possession of destructive devices. Mamdani said the suspects were seen on video throwing two devices towards protests outside Gracie Mansion on Saturday. The FBI said the devices contained explosive materials and fragmentation that could have killed and maimed numerous people. ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and pro-Iranian groups have intensified recruiting and calls for violence online since the war with Iran started just a week ago. That's what law enforcement sources told CBS News. What you need to know is that this is what they're looking to call us. ISIS sympathizers. And you know the American people are stupid. And I keep stressing this. Just because you know that you're an Israelite and you don't give a shit about an ISIS or Islam or the Quran, the majority of the American public, the population in America, are fucking retarded. They don't know the difference. They still look at brothers with garments on and ask, are you Muslim? So when this false flag goes down, just know that they're going to try their best to put us in the same category as these so-called Islamic extremists. And again, that article came from CBS News. You can go and read the full article. I just brought out some of the key points. Let me get Psalms 37 and 12. The wicked plotteth against the just, and gnasheth upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him because this devil is plotting on us. See, the Lord already wrote the ending from the beginning. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and the needy. And the poor and the needy are the Israelites. Fuck everybody else. You might see an Edomite bum on the street. Fuck him. Okay? Because that that Edomite had a chance in his kingdom. This is their kingdom, not ours. The wicked have drawn out the sword and have bent their bow to cast down the poor and the needy, and to slay such as be of upright conversation. That's the men of the Lord, of upright conversation. Men that are sighing and crying, considering the Lord. Because these niggas don't consider the Lord. We do. 15th verse says, their sword shall enter into their own heart. Because what they have planned for us, that's what's going to happen to them. Destruction. Their plan is to destroy us. But that sword is going to enter into their own heart. And their bows shall be broken. 16th verse, a little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. When this shit hits the fan, all this bullshit, all this shit talking is going to stop. Because these niggas that are proud out here are going to find themselves in a situation where they're called terrorists. Anybody that's black or brown is going to be called a terrorist. You don't know what I know. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to restart the show. I ran my mouth. I didn't mean to go this long on this topic. But y'all know me, so y'all got to forgive me. I'm your brother. I don't give a shit. Forgive me and let me restart the show. Barakatah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi Kahalah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi Ba'ashem Rakah HaKodash. Shalom, his brother Yashima Zakar from the Israelite Report, IsraeliteReport.com. Upon my watch, all praises are definitely due to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. Peace and blessings to all the brothers spread across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth and sincerity. Those that truly believe and want to get the hell up out of here. I'm going to go straight to Ecclesiasticus 39:1. It says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. A lot of niggas are way too comfortable right now with everything that's going on. People are just way too comfortable. All these goddamn debates. Bullshit, man. You know, getting these big interviews and shit. This is bullshit. We need to be redeeming the times because the days are evil, measuring the times diligently. Things are getting serious out here, man. With everything that's going on. And I'm watching, you know, upon my watch. I'm watching. Got to give warning to the people because this is very serious. It's getting ramped up. I keep talking about the calm before the storm. The calm before the storm. We're in the eye of the storm. And that storm is about to turn up, man. The mark of the beast is right around the corner. The same way you see World War III, right now we're in World War III pretty much, right? If you see World War III, you can say we're kind of like, all right, we're in the beginning, or you can say we're even in the middle of it. You know the mark of the beast is right around the corner. That means the great test is coming. The hour of temptation is coming soon. And what does that mean? That means you got to lock in and you have to truly believe. This fan club shit is not going to work. And a nigga might say, well, if I'm of the elect, I'm going to make it anyway. Nigga, you don't know. Got to make your calling and election sure. But I want to read it again. It says, this is Ecclesiasticus 39:1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof. You have to meditate on these scriptures. I do it. And even when I do it, I feel like I don't do it enough. And that's Esau's thing. And I'm not going to rant. I'm going to try to, behave myself. But that's Esau's thing, is to have you so worried about the cares of this life, this world. You got bills, you got situations, different things come up that you don't have time to meditate. Meditate and prayer, right? Meditation and prayer. That's your real mental health right there. Like they talk about mental health. Your real mental health is really being occupied in prophecy, in the scriptures, meditating on the scriptures and believing in it. Believing that the Lord's word is faithful and true. This is the time to lock in. Occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. Stay on your watch, stay in prayer. Redeem the times, because the days are evil. Last week, I was dealing with the mark of the beast, and it's not really a time when I don't speak on it, but last week, the whole thing was about the mark of the beast, the microchip. And this week, I want to follow up on that because I know it's close. I know it's about that time. I always say this. They have what's called Agenda 2030, but they want their New World Order in place by 2030, meaning before 2030. So I have this clip right quick. I want to play this. It's about a little under 2 minutes. And just take a listen to the clip, and I'll come back and I'll respond to it.
So I'm about to give y'all the game with what's about to happen in the next year or two, but likely in the next year. You see this post right here on X? This is Chad Hurley. Chad Hurley is a co-founder of YouTube. That means he's a billionaire, likely. That also means he's in the club. He's in the know. He's in the circles that are, traveling with Elon Musk and all the technocrats and, in government and business. So that means he knows what he's talking about. So he says that all meaningful jobs will disappear within the next year. Now, the next logical question is, well, what will replace that? How will we live? The answer is, as Elon Musk puts it, universal high income rather than universal basic income. Basically, they're going to give us all a very high income and we're just supposed to go off into the sunset and be happy. But here's the thing they don't tell you. In order to receive that, you're likely going to have to take the mark. Yeah, basically, they're going to create society where you won't be able to survive because there will be no jobs. And in order to receive that universal high income, you're going to have to opt into the beast system. Welcome to the Great Tribulation, folks.
So as you heard in the clip, the man was speaking on this founding father of YouTube, one of the founding fathers of YouTube, Chad Hurley, was pretty much saying that most, if not all, meaningful jobs will disappear in about a year or two, which is right on schedule because I kept talking about the year 2027. 2027 is the year leading up to 2028, the presidential election that's going to come up in 2028. And they want all of this to be in place before 2030. So anyway, in the clip, what the man was saying, and I have to agree, Chad Hurley, one of the founding fathers of YouTube, talking about these jobs, meaningful jobs, going away, is one of the likely scenarios to help push forward the microchip. You have to bring the people down to their knees begging in order to make this mandatory, the same way they did with the jab. Universal high income, as Elon Musk calls it. Another reason for people to take the microchip. You're going to have one class of people, because remember, it's all about the classes. It's all about the money, right? You're going to have one group of people that won't take the chip or refuses to take the chip, and they're going to be cut out from society. And then you're going to have another class of people that will take the chip, and they're going to receive universal high income. They're going to be going on about their life, going to the football games, taking these vacations. You know how these women are. They love their hot girl summers when they can go and be a hoe. So these women are going to take the chip. These women, you can forget about it. You're not going to stop their hot girl summers. They got to go get their hoe on. And then the niggas, they're retarded. They got to go chase the hoes. Because that's, a nigga like, man, I can't be all bummy. How am I get some pussy? And that sounds stupid, but that's, that's the world we live in. People are dumbed down and stupid. So just look forward to being cut off from society. This is what I mean when I say this is a self journey. Get used to it. Get that thought in your mind. Or otherwise, you have no point in even listening to me. As of right now, jobs are vanishing. People aren't noticing. They're just saying, I'm having a hard time finding a job. No shit. That was the plan. They don't want you to find jobs. The more people work and make money, the more they can rebel against this system. And this system that they have in place right now is about to launch. We're going to come into some times when the things that you're used to having available to you will not be readily available. That sounds crazy at the moment, but just wait for it. This is 2 Ezra 6:22. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. Suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. Suddenly. That's the thing, man. That's the key. That's why you have to be watching, because things can happen all of a sudden. Everything just seems like normal, like it's just, this is why, I say the things that I say about, the Bishop Nates and the Captain Tazariaks and the Deacon Akaz and people like that, because they're playing around and they're not telling the people this is coming. This is not 2012. I point out 2012 a lot because I believe it was like 2012, that really like 2013, 14, when, the whole Captain Zariak versus Brother Polite shit popped off. It was somewhere in that area. Might have been 2014. And they started this whole debate shit. No mention of the mark of the beast. No mention of Jacob's trouble. Martial law. All these things are going to pop off. 2 Ezra 6:22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. This is how the Lord works. I didn't even have this. It was like a day ago, maybe 2 days ago. I believe it was like a day ago. I was reading through this 2 Ezra 6. And I come to this and I made note of it, but I forgot about it. Then I opened up my app here and went straight to it. Right as I was talking about the things not being readily available for you. That's how the Lord works. Yahawashi is my witness. I just opened it up and it went right to it, and I went, damn, might as well go ahead and read it. See, this is why I believe. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. Remember, this is that word sudden. Suddenly. All of a sudden. Like a thief in the night. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. All of a sudden, your worst fears come upon you. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, because it's going to be chaos out here. This is why you need the Lord, man. You need to be praying and meditating, being occupied in prophecy now, so these things don't come upon you suddenly, all of a sudden. There's that old saying, it was all good just a week ago. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. Esau is the end of the world. Jacob is the beginning of that which followeth. I know you're seeing a lot of news coverage about the U.S. and Iran, and that's cool. But don't forget, the mark of the beast is right at your door. It's still here. It didn't go nowhere. The U.S. hasn't gotten blown up. No. Prophecy. Be occupied in prophecy. Know that the hour of temptation is coming. We're going to be tested and tried with that mark. And yes, your woman will try to tempt you to take it. That's coming. They know if you have a wife, you're going to have trouble in the flesh. Right? This is what's coming. Be ready to be, fuck it. I'll get my damn head chopped the fuck off. Y'all kiss my black ass. I'll die and go back to the spiritual realm. You got to have that attitude, man. You got to have a fuck this world attitude. You can't be people friendly. Yes, you use the world, but not as abusing the world. But you cannot. What is it? Damn. I might be saying it wrong. I might misquote it, but trimmeth thou ways to seek love. Right? You can't trim the spirit. You got to stay in the spirit and stay occupied in prophecy. Because this is the only thing that matters now. Now, with most of the news coverage being centered around this war with Iran, people are missing the other pieces on his chessboard. There are other factors that come into play here other than the war in Iran. Philip Naito, I believe that's how you say his name, or it might be Naito. He's with the Daily Mail, and he wrote this. The White House is blocking the FBI and top U.S. intelligence agencies from warning law enforcement across the country about new terror threats to the homeland tied to the war with Iran. Now, something I've talked about over and over and over again. They're going to push this propaganda that there are sleeper cells in America. And they're going to come up with these new terrorists and whatever, they'll give them a name, a terrorist group, and they'll say they're Iranian backed. I remember back when Trump was fake assassinated. Oh, excuse me. The fake assassination attempt, Salakia. The fake assassination attempt back in July of 2024. Then they had a situation at Mar-a-Lago, and I believe that person, they said he was an Iranian sympathizer. And I knew right off the bat, I said, oh, they're getting ready to do something with Iran. This is before Trump was elected president in 2024. I said, oh, we already see the play. We already see where they're going with this. Remember Trump's first term, he took out and killed Soleimani. He was supposed to be like one of the top, I guess, I don't know what his rank was, but he was a high military individual. I can't remember his rank. It's been so long. But anyways, the small hats, the least of the flock, shall draw them out. The small hats have been trying to drag the U.S. into a war with Iran. Maybe, I don't know why, but maybe because they feel that they can't take on Iran by themselves. You see what they've done to Gaza, what they've done to the Palestinians, but when it comes to Iran, the least of the flock shall draw them out. Yeah, the small hats are trying to get the U.S. into this war with Iran, and they finally got it this time around with the second Trump administration. And I believe personally that the Epstein files play a big part in that. That's my personal opinion. But the next big thing I think is going to happen, my personal opinion, speaking as a man, I believe that they will, at some point in the very near future, because most Americans are against this war in Iran, they will pull some major false flags. And I've been talking about this ad nauseum. Y'all know I talk about, I even when it comes to the false flags, I bring that into the mark of the beast, that's one way that they could force people or try to force people to take the mark of the beast, to say that the only way to prove your identity and prove that you're not a terrorist is you have to take this chip. That's me thinking strategically, right? And knowing what I know and understanding the way this works. But as Philip Naito, says, the White House is blocking the FBI and top U.S. intelligence agencies from warning law enforcement across the country about new terror threats to the homeland tied to the war in Iran. So they're already setting the stage. There's going to be Iranian sympathizers carrying out terrorist attacks. This came from USA Today. U.S. is on high alert for homeland attacks by Iran. Again, they're pushing this propaganda out there. And this is, I get it. I know it's boring, but pay attention when they push this stuff out. They did this with Osama bin Laden back in the day. And I'm old enough to remember because my father had me watching the news. Osama was brought up years prior to 9/11. They were pushing that out there. There's this guy named Osama bin Laden, and he has this Islamic terrorist group, and he's the number one most wanted man on the FBI list. And then when 9/11 happened, they just said Osama did it. So it's the same thing they're doing right now. There's Iranian sleeper cells. There's Iranian sympathizers here in America. And they can strike at any moment. So when it happens, they can say, U.S. intelligence had this information and this is the game that they're playing. But it says U.S. on high alert for homeland attacks by Iran. Again, this is from USA Today. It says FBI, DHS on war footing due to Iran's long history of plotting retaliatory attacks, including recent assassination attempts on President Donald Trump. And remember, I've been saying this, the fake assassination and the situation in Mar-a-Lago that happened back in 2024 was all setting the stage for this. Now, federal counterterrorism agencies are on high alert for a potential retaliatory attack on U.S. soil after U.S. and Israeli forces launched strikes on Iran that killed the nation's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, and other top officials. It says the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security have both announced they are on war footing, as they have been in the past, over whether U.S. strikes ordered by President Donald Trump on Iranian targets would prompt the Tehran regime and its proxy forces to seek revenge. So this is the thing. They're putting this out there now. Oh, the U.S. had to deal with Iran because of the nuclear program, and now they want revenge. So they're gonna they're gonna have their cake and eat it too. That's what they believe. Because their ultimate goal is really to collapse America. Zbigniew Brzezinski said that America would be the first and last superpower, that it would collapse into a new world order. It says, and while officials from both agencies declined comment to U.S. Today on March 1st about their heightened operations, veteran Iran watchers said there is a good reason for them to be worried. And it says here in a quote, Iran has developed this capability to carry out attacks abroad over many years, including in the United States. And that's what former FBI and Treasury Department counterterrorism official Matthew Levitt said. If there was ever a time the regime would want to act on it, it would be now. So if there was ever a time the regime would want to act on seeking revenge on U.S. soil, right? It would be right now. That's what they're saying. Think Osama. They're doing the same thing. It's just rinse and repeat with these people. I want to get this in Amos 3 and 6, and everyone knows it. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? They're looking to put us into this terrorist category. I remember when I first, I was getting ready to go into the military, and these crackers, these Edomites, were calling, the Taliban and the what they call it, Al Qaeda, sand niggers, meaning they see us all the same. Like if you are brown skin, they see you as the same. So you best believe they're going to try to tie the Israelites into this Islamic terrorist group, whatever they're going to call it or name it this time around. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord have not done it? And that's what you that's the point. If the Lord allows you to be swooped up into that, that's the Lord. He allowed it. He did it. That's why we need to be seeking the Lord 10 times more, to have mercy. Surely the Lord God, the Lord power, Yahweh, will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Be occupied in prophecy. The things that were written for time were written for our learning. This is the time, man. They're telling you openly what the next planned false flag is. It's going to be terrorist attacks. And they're going to say that they're Iranian sympathizers. Watch these Israelite groups that are moving funny and weird and doing all types of weird shit. Better watch them. You better watch them. The same way you're supposed to be on your watch and watching prophecy, you need to be watching that shit too. You see IUIC standing next to the NOI, the Nation of Islam. You better watch that shit. It's not a joke. Oh, nigga, you just be your nigga, you shit. No, nigga, you better watch that shit. You better pay attention. They can easily, because you got to understand, Esau does this shit. They'll tie you to some shit you got nothing to do with and slap a label on you. Next thing you know, you got Tyrone Johnson locked up somewhere, and they done labeled him a mastermind of a terrorist attack. And he was just a nigga in his house eating a bucket of KFC. Got 12 baby mamas. Don't know shit about shit. The nigga might have bought a bean pie and a Final Call newspaper. Now he's a leader of a terrorist organization. You motherfuckers, man. God damn. If y'all only knew how this government works, how it operates. But it's the Lord that we need to be calling on. It's because the Lord controls everything. He controls all of this. Even if Esau Salakia, even if Esau carries out a terrorist attack, a false flag terrorist attack, guess what? The Lord allowed it. Shall it be evil in the city, and the Lord have not done it?